This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me today are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar, principal second violin and artistic administrator, Merwin Sue, and we have the return of two of our regular panel members. That is the TSO's marketing director, Felicia Canny, and our intrepid music director, Elaine Trudell. Welcome back.
Yay!
Gosh, I missed you guys.
Yeah. I mean, this is really the old home week, the reunion of the full panel as we head into our third season. So It's great to have you back, Elaine.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back.
And you too, Felicia.
Great. I haven't seen these guys all summer.
Well, before we get into the topic of today's program, which is the next 75, we just completed 75 years at Toledo Symphony. That's in the books. Now we're starting the next 75 years, if you want to slice it and dice it up that way. Elaine, why don't you tell us briefly, give us a highlight of what you did over the summer.
Over the summer, actually, I picked up my trombone a little bit, made a recording. I recorded this concerto written for me by Jacques Etu, but I also conducted the orchestra. So in Laval, with my orchestra in Laval, and we did for this Canadian label called Atma, and we did a recording of all the music by Jacques Etu, and there was a piano concerto, a symphonic poem, and the trombone concerto. It was quite challenging because I conducted the orchestra for the concerto, and I hope I had the right tempis because I was the soloist after the recording overdub over it.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I thought the conductor was a little bit slow in the opening. But after that,
did you have
okay.
words with the conductor after?
It was very difficult to find.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go look in the mirror. Huh?
No, he did his thing and he just took off. So I don't know.
Just like a conductor. Yeah. Well, that sounds fun. We talked last time with Merwin and Zach about some of the stuff that they did over the summer. You want to share anything from your summer vacation, Felicia? I mean, you've got little kids at home.
It's all a blur.
You took a summer vacation.
I did take a summer vacation.
Felicia does not take vacations.
Yeah. Wow. So that was unusual for you to actually take a vacation.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're back in the saddle now. No vacations
It's
for
over.
any of you. Got to make it all the way at least through the holidays before you can have another vacation. Well, let's head on over to our topic for today, and that is inspired by the fact that we just finished the 75th anniversary of Toledo Symphony Orchestra. Elaine Trudell, this is your, how many seasons now? Second season? Second season as music director.
As music director.
Yeah.
He came back.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good when they come back, right? The first year is, So now we're on to the next 75 years, and we're going to talk a little bit about the future of classical music, where it's headed, and even though we're predicting where it's headed, I'd also like us to talk a little bit about where we think we hope it should be in 75 years, right? So these are generalities, but you can be as specific as you want to be. And I thought to get us started, we would bring in the Toledo SymphonyLAB Youth Advisory Council. This is a group that we just put together a couple of weeks ago, which consists of young folks who are associated with music. In other words, they're our kids. Merwin and Felicia and I brought our kid, and Zach brought our kids. Sorry, Zach. I didn't see you there behind the microphone. Brought in our kids, and we had a roundtable discussion all about music and the future of music, and they did a fun little thought experiment. So this is about 9 minutes long, so sit back and relax and listen to our Toledo SymphonyLAB Youth Advisory Council here on Toledo Symphony Lab.
My name is Kai, and I am 7. My dad brought me here.
Who's your dad?
Reverend Sailor.
Hi, my name is Mila. I'm in kindergarten and I'm 5 years old, and my mom's name is Felicia Kenny.
Tell me one nice thing about your mom.
She does lots of stuff that I like. Funky stuff.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Brenda? How old are you, Brenda?
I'm 8 and I'm almost 9. I'm gonna be 9 on Halloween.
Yeah. And who brought you here today?
You?
Oh, very good.
My name is Gracie. I'm 4.5. My daddy brought me here.
And who's your daddy?
My silly daddy.
Maybe if we just ask some questions, you can have a conversation, okay?
What's a conversation?
A conversation is, like when people talk to each other for a long time. Like you can have a conversation about anything.
Yeah, you can talk about anything. I want to talk about music.
Me too. Music. I love music.
If anybody plays an instrument or sings or anything like that, raise your hand. Yeah?
I play the violin and I take lessons for it.
I play
Yes,
the
you do.
kazoo.
You play the kazoo. Very good. You're not the only one around here who plays kazoo. Kai, what do you play?
I play the violin.
Wow, we have 2 violinists in here. Mira, what do you play, honey?
What instrument do you want?
You can tell your mom and she can tell us.
The trombone.
The trombone. Wow. Do you know Alain Trudel? He must love you.
Oh, she has another favorite.
So who here, I know you guys don't have your violins, but who wants to sing a quick little song for us? We heard Gracie play her kazoo, so we'll give somebody else a chance and we can come back to you.
Play about me.
You're up, Kai.
I'm gonna sing Star Wars. Star Wars. Da-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na. Da-da-da-da. Na-na-na-na-na. Da-da.
Boy, when you said you were going to sing Star Wars, you really sang Star Wars, didn't you?
All 2.5 hours.
Now, this one is harder. How do you get people to listen to more classical music?
Play more songs.
Play more songs? Good songs, right?
Oh, classical.
Yeah, more classical music. What do you think, Brenda? How would you get more people to listen to, like, violin music? Or
How about we get them to try to play the violin or...
get them interested
Yeah.
in music? I mean, that's a good idea, especially for kids like your age and younger, to learn about it, because you're learning about the violin, so that'll help you appreciate more classical music when you get older. Now, in order to ask this question, I have to ask you to imagine something. Okay? Have you ever seen a movie about like time machines and stuff? Or
Yeah.
kids traveling in time and going to different times?
Yes.
Yeah, kids.
Oh, darn.
I want to do that. I want to travel to the past.
Okay.
No, I want to
well,
travel to the future.
well, we're gonna start by traveling into the future. Yes. Yeah. We're gonna travel into the future.
Where's the time machine?
The time machine is in our heads, but if you close your mind, you close your
not real,
mind,
kids.
close your eyes, you can
Yeah,
you
watch
can
that.
you can see it.
I don't see
both,
anything.
You have to use your imagination. You know what will help is if we add some sound effects. Okay. So
Done.
Kai, give me the sound of a time machine warming up. Not very loud, just a sound like a time machine warming up. Okay, Brenda, add yours.
Impressive.
Now do it together. So we're stepping into the time machine. Okay. I'm turning on the switch. Okay, now I've got to set the dial. Okay, I'm going to turn the dial. I'm turning the dial. Here I go. There, that's good enough. We'll stop right there. That's 75 years. 75 years. Boy.
I'm so old.
Oh, yeah. Okay, shut your eyes. Here we go. Sound effect, traveling through time. And here we are. Open the door. And we walk out, and what do we see? Kai, what do you see?
Flying cars, superheroes,
Flying cars and
cool new
superheroes.
inventions, gadgets.
What do you see, Brenda?
I also see flying cars.
Oh.
And I see old people.
Electric violins.
Okay, now let's say we're going to go to the symphony. And we're going to check out what's been going on with the symphony for the past 75 years. We're going to see what's changed and what's different about the symphony in the future.
I see an old guy playing the electric violin.
Yeah?
That's your dad.
So, Kai, we walked into the symphony hall. What do you see?
I see electric pianos. Oh wait, and
Bless you.
lights that you can just clap to turn them on and off.
Oh, yeah. They have the clapper. Invention of the future.
Paintings that you could just press the board that you have, and then the painting that you wanted could just appear.
Oh, wow. Do you think everybody would have the Mona Lisa?
Yeah. I might have the Starry Night.
Oh, yeah.
Building things with only one touching of with only one brick.
Only one
Just
brick.
saying what you want with one.
Like you put a brick
Wow.
down and then you say what you want and then it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think music will be different in the future?
And it will probably be like.
I have an idea.
That sounded suspiciously like Star Wars.
Yeah. The music would be different. Like, it would sound like electric violins. And
Why is everybody obsessed with electric violins?
I don't know.
Well, we do play the violin.
Maybe you have a violin where you just tell it what to play,
Oh!
and the bow will play it for you and everything.
What if there's like instruments that you just snap your fingers and they start playing?
It's like the clapper.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Then you wouldn't get marks on your arms and your legs wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
All right. The expert voices of our Toledo SymphonyLAB Youth Advisory Council weighing in on a lot of things there, but they also touched on some interesting points, I think. Impressions? Why don't we start with you, Alain? What did you think of that? I mean, aside from all the silliness.
Well, actually, it's I like that they don't have a filter. Right?
Yeah, right.
Whatever they think at the moment comes out. I guess we'll still be playing Star Wars. I mean,
But it'll sound a little weird though. Kai was weirding it up when he was singing it. Yeah.
But I take the word electric as the word different. You know, a little bit something that another kind of evolution, like for a lack of other things we can think of right now. But there's a certain evolution of some of the instruments. I think some of the timeless classic will still be there. But we're not talking about our impressions now. We're just talking about what we heard. No, actually, I was very impressed. It's so nice to see kids that are, that some of them are very young and very articulated at the same time.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Merwin, let's hear this thing about, like, I understand, getting sores on your chin or whatever, but making your legs tired. I mean,
Kai likes to practice sitting down. I like him to practice standing up. And then sometimes when he's holding his violin in rest position, the strings make little marks on his arms.
Oh, okay.
And so when we're practicing posture exercises like rest position, violin up. Rest position, violin up. Rest position, violin up. He feels like his arms get all marked up, and then he feels like he has been standing for minutes on end. It's just awful.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain, yes.
Felicia, Zach, you want to weigh in on what we just heard?
I just want to point out that I had to take my daughter out to the hallway, I think 4 times. And I like very much, and I thank you for this, your very gentle editing out of her many proclamations.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them I was really tempted to leave in because
there was one in particular.
Yeah, because they were great. Maybe we'll slip that in at the end of the podcast version.
An extended version. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We might do that on demand. Felicia, you have anything you want to add? Your poor little daughter was a little bit shy when she came in here. Yeah.
It runs in the family.
I mean, at one point, I think she was sliding under the table. Did you see that?
Yes, and she started a movement where everyone started sliding under the table. So a leader.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That was fun. I like the idea of getting kids playing instruments when they're young and start to develop, sensibility for music. And it doesn't matter if they go into music or not. That's always a great thing for kids to learn. And Felicia, did your daughter really play the trombone, or was that just an instrument she came up with?
We have several trombones at home, and she's tried out all of the mouthpieces. But right now, she's really into all of the recorders at home.
But has she tried an official Alain Trudel mouthpiece?
Oh, no.
Because we know those exist.
Christmas is just around the corner.
Yes.
That's right. We'll be taking orders at the SymphonyLAB hotline. Okay, well, here is another thought experiment. I want to continue this idea of getting in a time machine and going off to the future. So I'm going to go around the table here. I'm going to start with you, Merwin. We're going to put you in the time machine. Let me get a little sound effect here.
Oh, you want to make the noise also?
I am making the noise. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Now we have some nice ambient music for you. So, Merwin, you've gone into the time machine. You've exited 75 years in the future. What do you see?
Well, I think that there will still be concert halls, physical concert halls, but I also think that virtual concert halls will probably be really, really huge. I think that the sense of being able to somehow experience a collective experience, but within the privacy of your own home, will probably be something that's really, important. I think immersive technology will probably be significantly advanced 75 years from now, so that you'll be able to attend a concert in a particular concert hall, and you may be able to, choose the repertoire in a way. Like maybe you'll be able to access archives of different concerts and kind of immerse yourself into a concert experience.
Yeah.
I would have had more time to think about this if you hadn't chosen me first.
But that's good. That's a great answer and interesting, and certainly a point of departure for discussion. But let's go around and just quickly tell us what you see. What do you see, Felicia, when you step off that time machine?
It's almost as if the world is spinning faster and technology is just changing the face of the world at a greater speed than before. And so in my future of orchestras, it's almost as if there won't be drastic changes, because it will be one of those few ways that people can come together and be kind of grounded by the craftsmanship of our art form. So I think that there's longevity there, and as the world continues to change, this is something that will remain more or less constant.
I like how your vision contrasts with Merwin. Merwin is a little more focused on the self, the individual, and experiencing. And Felicia,
Zach is shaking his head.
You're more focused on like the group experience, which I think is an important thing, that we have to find a way to bring that into the future. The experience of not only being in a concert hall, but the experience of enjoying music with all the rest of the audience, because it becomes a collective experience.
Well, I think it was interesting because I kind of went with Netflix kind of as a point of departure, or kind of like TV streaming. Mm-hmm. But then as Felicia was talking, I was thinking a lot about how people still go out to restaurants. They still want to have that like an artisanal experience, really having people craft their food.
Well, yeah, and as the future marches on, things tend to get more and more insular. We're all wrapped up in our phones, our devices, whatever screen of choice, that you're involved in. And that tends to cut you off from those communal experiences. So it becomes more important to go out to dinner, to go out to see a concert, to go out to see a show. Zach, you have thoughts on this?
So I had a piano teacher growing up who was really interested in electronic music. He had MIDI on the mind before there was a lot.
Sounds like a song. MIDI on the mind.
Or lunch in French.
Exchanging bids. Yeah.
So I remember he had said, "Isn't this going to be great someday? Instead of going to see a full symphony play, we're just going to go like down to the peristyle, and there's going to be a guy, and he's going to be surrounded by all these keyboards, and he can make the whole thing happen just himself. Isn't that going to be great?" And I was terrified. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you think about it, that was probably 30 years ago. And we haven't gotten there. And, the amount that this is an art form that has maintained a lot of traditions, but also looked for different ways to maintain connections to its community. I think that it has already survived the influence of people taking their music home with them, having great audio systems in their living rooms to play music beautifully, or go online to something like the Berlin digital concert hall, where you can do something like Merwin was talking about, where you can stream on demand many different programs and never have to leave. But we still go out, and I think it's for a lot of the reasons that Felicia articulated very well, is that as a community we need this sort of art form to feel whole.
Yeah.
And I think as we focus on some of the electronics that you described, and that governs more and more of our lives, and we try to cram more into every minute and every second, we need that departure more than ever. So I think we'll find that the concert hall might look and feel a little bit different, but the symphony construct will still be there. And I just think that the music could be really interesting. So you could think about what compositions would sound like 75 years from now. We're kind of in this neoclassical world right now.
Right.
Will we go back to like the serial artists? Do we try to create something totally different? Are we listening to something that sounds a lot like the background music right now, the sort of ambient influence,
right,
which it could be the music of the future?
Yeah, it could be the music of the future elevator, right? Or the doctor's office. You try to let's see what the kids think of your idea there, Zach. Excellent.
You sound great.
Alain, you want to pick up on any of that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I don't know if you remember, Zach, there was this artist named Tomita, I think, Japanese
artist.
Yeah,
Who
did the Firebird, like
a
one-man band kind of thing, and that's interesting because it was popular for a little while. And
right, but it was also it was a shtick.
Yeah, but it's kind of, we did the experiment already.
Yeah.
And classical music, symphonic transcription, Premier Dinophone, and all that stuff. So we kind of been there a little bit. So I think it's secure to say that, and it's not, you could say it's a shtick or not, but we tried, and that's not really what a symphonic or just a concert experience really is. It's about community, and I think we're going to need more and more. Technology goes so fast. Nobody would have thought less than 10 years ago that everybody would be stuck on their phone all day long.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that tells us that 10 years from now, nobody will be on their phone anymore. I mean, you have to. 75 years is a long time,
Yeah.
So there's nothing that tells us that it's going to go quote unquote further in the development of technology, and the environment also tells us that we have to take a break at some point and take care of ourselves. And there's two things that I see in there. One is that if you want to know the future, you have to look at the past a little bit. So if we go back 75 years, that was before the event of rock and roll and all the other big mainstream music, and classical music continued throughout this, and symphonic music throughout this, because of this gathering of people. It's like we were talking about food before, like slow food, just taking your time to be together and enjoy the moment. Now, I think it's not enough, like right now, to just enjoy the moment. You have to have things around it. It has to be like a soiree. It has to be like an afternoon and an evening of something. And so that's one thing. I think if you go to the past and you see that it has continued, I'm absolutely sure that it will continue, but you can't just stay the same. You have to make it an event that's people make it worth that they go out and they celebrate together, and it's about being together. Music is part of the event, and it will be part of the event. It's not going to be the event itself. I mean, for us it is, and for the people who absolutely love the repertoire, study it before. But a lot of people who come for the first time, who will want to check it out, they will say, what's this, this art form that, that's been there for so long, and we're going to check it out. And if you have a good soirée, good time, that's one thing. The other thing is that we can use, it's something we've started a little bit, is that recycled instruments. So instruments that you take from things that you throw away. And in the environment, we really, really have a lot of, how do you say, I'm not trying to find a good English word, like pre-used stuff we throw out, okay, and plastic or other things like that. Then there is a way, I think, that in the technology we'll be able to create new instruments. We'll be able to create repertoire, because you're never going to play Brahms on other instruments, because that's the sound that it's for. But before the,
unless it's kazoo,
of course, kazoo is like it's
a world unto itself.
Yeah, it's the key that opens all the doors. I mean, yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, if kazoo will travel, yeah.
Kazoo will endure.
No, but seriously, I think there's like we had built some plastic violins and not electric necessarily, but last year I did a project like that in Ottawa, and it was interesting because who knows? Now we're talking about something like that here, perhaps.
Yeah.
Finding things that we throw away and making instruments that actually have another sound, have another repertoire. That's something completely different, and you don't know how it's going to evolve in 75 years. Some instruments, nobody thought 200 years ago that you could play trumpet concerto because it only played pop, 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 and very poorly. Now we have valves, and no, but I mean,
you've heard me play the trumpet.
Anyway, so I think there's a lot of evolution, but the evolution is not necessarily more complicated techniques. The evolution of mankind, the evolution of our awareness can be something else than inventing stuff.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to think about there and to parse out. I mean, you all have such interesting takes and ideas on all of this. I think it's safe to assume that in 75 years, as you mentioned, Alain, there will be technologies that we haven't quite yet imagined that will somehow apply to what we do and what you do as performers and makers of live music. Okay, we're back with the rest of our program today, the podcast continuation of today's discussion about the next 75. We were talking about different technologies, different predictions that we see down the road, and so we're going to have a little predictions quiz. Now, I have instituted brand new quiz music for the third season of Toledo SymphonyLAB. So whenever we hear this music, we'll know what time it is, that it's quiz time.
That's how I feel.
This is a quiz.
Yeah. Exactly. And feel free to sing along. Okay, so our quiz today. This is about predictions that came true. In other words, some figure in history made a prediction, and it actually came true, right? So for a warm-up question here. In 1865, this writer predicted a man on the moon. Was it Lewis Carroll, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, or Jules Verne?
Jules Verne.
Yay! He should get the kids saying bravo instead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've got 6 more of these to go. Ready? In a New York Times interview from 1909, this inventor predicted Wi-Fi and mobile phones. Was it Nikola Tesla, was it Thomas Edison, or George Westinghouse? Jump right in.
Let's go with Tesla.
I'll go Westinghouse.
Yay! Well, Zach was wrong. Merwin was right. It was Nikola Tesla. Inventor predicted Wi-Fi and mobile phones. Wow. Okay. Fast forward to 1953, and this writer predicted earbuds. Was it Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, or Arthur C. Clarke?
Ooh.
Bradbury?
Wow, you guys are just breezing right through this. That's in Fahrenheit 451. He called
Yes.
them thimble radios.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, head on over to 1968. This writer predicted the iPad. Was it Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, or Arthur C. Clarke?
I'm going to go with Westinghouse.
No. Any other guesses?
Isaac Asimov.
I was going to guess
No.
Bradbury.
Thomas C. Clarke.
Wait, what's your guess, Felicia?
She was going to
Wait.
guess.
What?
What's your guess?
Drum
So
roll.
Bradbury?
Yeah,
Hey, everybody has one.
Ray Bradbury. Oh
thought
no,
you'd thrown
I'm
it.
sorry, it
Wait,
wasn't
wait.
Ray Bradbury. That was the last question. Okay,
I was wondering what I was saying.
try again. So it's not Isaac Asimov, it's not Ray Bradbury.
Or
so,
George Westinghouse.
or George Westinghouse. So who would it be?
Well, there's one left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you
who
remember
is it?
his name?
Yeah.
Is
But
it
you gotta
Arthur or
say it.
Jeremiah
Remember.
Clark?
Trumpet tune. I wish I had
Jeremiah
that on
Clark.
there.
That's
Yes,
right.
a trumpet tuner.
No, Arthur C. Clarke, obviously. I got that one right. It's in 2001, A Space Odyssey. He calls it a news pad, right? Where they hold those little screens, tablets. Okay, this writer predicted the internet in 1988, and it wasn't Al Gore. It was it Isaac Asimov? Was it Ray Bradbury? Or was it Arthur C. Clarke? No George Westinghouse on this one. Which one of those three?
I'm going to go with Asimov.
Let me see. Yeah, that's right. An interview he gave to Bill Moyers, he invented the internet, although he said it was going to be all about educating people, right?
And
So,
cats.
we
Also
see-
cats.
Cat videos.
Grumpy cats. We see how that all worked out. Okay, couple of interesting questions here, plus a bonus. English novelist John Brunner famously predicted what? You have to tell us what his prediction was. Was it the sinking of the Titanic? Was it the presidency of Barack Obama? Or was it the Vietnam War? English novelist John Brunner. Which one of those three did he correctly predict?
I know there was a prediction on the Titanic,
Yeah.
but I don't know if this is the one.
You're not going to go out on the limb?
Sure.
No. Not that one. There was a Titanic. There was a novel called The Sinking of the Titan or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And The Wreck of the Titan in 1968. Not 1968.
No,
1968.
1912 or
I
something?
got my numbers mixed up. Yeah. It's like 19 something or 18 something. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's wrong.
Who's having fun now?
Anybody else? The presidency of Barack Obama or the Vietnam War? You got
Let's
a
go with
50-50.
Obama.
Yeah. In the 1968 novel Stand on Zanzibar, America in 2010 is run by a President Obama.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe he was talking about both Barack and Michelle. You know, together they're the Obama. Right? That's my theory. Okay. This movie critic predicted video-on-demand services in 1987. Was it Roger Ebert? Was it Gene Shalit? Or was it Leonard Maltin?
Go Ebert.
Yep. Predicted video on demand. Okay, we're at our bonus question right now, and this is completely random, but it should be kind of fun. This animal correctly predicted the outcomes of all 6 of Germany's 2010 World Cup matches. Okay, so if you follow soccer, that's soccer, right? Yeah. If you follow soccer, then you may know this. Is it a German Shepherd named John? Is it a German octopus named Paul? Or is it a German rat named Ringo?
I
No,
feel
this
like
is
it's
the octopus.
octopus.
It's the
Yes.
Ball.
How did you guys know about the
I
octopus?
think I've heard
It
of
was
that
on
before.
Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yep.
Yeah.
The lifespan of a rat. I mean,
Why are you
that one's
looking
not
at
going to make it.
why are you looking at me when you say that?
I mean, how could he figure out the rules of the game to begin with, much less assess all of the competitors?
Yeah.
Octopi stand around for a long time.
He'd probably cheat anyway.
All right. Well, that was fun. Got a little quiz in. Anybody else have anything to say about the next 75 in 10 sentences or less? 2 sentences or less?
Not involving quiz music, we don't.
Okay, goodbye quiz music. There you go.
In the future, Beethoven's Fifth will be played about was it a
It was a
fourth higher?
sixth. No, it was a sixth. Yeah.
Somewhere between the fourth and the sixth higher.
Excellent. Quick take, hot take.
okay,
What's your hot
okay.
take?
Yeah, Stravinsky's Rite of Spring will be supplemented by a sequel called The Rite of the Fall.
You have one, Felicia?
It's not really a take on anything, more of a...
What's your prediction?
A prediction?
Your
well,
hot take
I don't
prediction.
really... I just think that it's really cool that we're kind of living in the moment right now, and that we are in history. So the composers of today will be the composers that we play in all the halls of the future. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, kids approve.
Yes.
What say you, Alain?
Well, you will have Toledo Symphony celebrating 150th anniversary.
Yeah, sesquicentennial, as they say. How do you say sesquicentennial in French?
I don't know.
We were
Kids approve. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony. You can download episodes of this program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Remember, you can check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony, including their upcoming season. That's available at their website, toledosymphony.com. You can also check out their various social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My thanks to Zach Vassar, Alain Trudel, Merwin Sue, and Felicia Canny. I'm Brad Cresswell. You've been listening to Toledo SymphonyLAB from FM 91.
There'll be an invisible conductor.
An invisible conductor.
Yeah,
That's fancy.
invisible conductor.
And everyone will be invisible, and the whole world will be invisible soon. Then the whole galaxy will turn invisible. Then
And then the universe
will turn invisible.